This is the California Air Tools 8010, an ultra-quiet, oil-free air compressor with an 8-gallon tank and a 1-horsepower motor. My honest first impression was that it doesn't have that bulky, old-school vibe. The silver finish looks clean, the footprint is tight for the tank size, and the wheels with the tall handle make it feel like something I'll actually roll out often instead of dreading it. I've owned smaller pancake units that felt wobbly and screamed the whole time. This one immediately came across as more thoughtful and practical. I had real hesitation before buying it. My last compressor was a little pancake model that did the job but was painfully loud. I got tired of turning up music to drown it out or worrying I was bugging neighbors. The 60 dB claim on this 8010 sounded almost too good to be true. My worry was simple. Can a quiet compressor still push enough air for what I do? I mostly fill tires, run a nail gun, blow dust out of corners, and sometimes do small paint or detail jobs that need steady, clean air. From my experience, the 8010 hits that balance. Setup was quick. I attached the wheels and the handle, popped on the air filter, and that was basically it. The unit weighs around 48 pounds, which isn't nothing, but with the wheels and handle I roll it with one hand and can lift it into a trunk without straining. The build gave me confidence right away. The tank is steel without feeling overly heavy. The copper line and steel braided hose are a big upgrade from the plastic lines I've seen crack on budget models, and the controls are laid out simply. It stores neatly against a wall when I'm done, and it doesn't hog floor space like taller vertical tanks. Noise was the surprise. It's genuinely quiet. I can stand next to it and have a normal conversation while it runs. In my garage with the door closed, I don't hear it droning through the house. The sound is more of a soft hum than a harsh buzz, and it ramps up smoothly instead of jolting on. In my opinion, the noise level is what makes me reach for it more often, because I'm not dreading the moment it kicks on. Performance has been exactly what I hoped for in this size. It's rated to 120 psi max. The motor spins at 1680 RPM, which is on the slower side, and slower RPM usually means less wear and less noise. The published airflow is 3.1 CFM at 40 psi and 2.2 CFM at 90 psi. Psi is the pressure in the tank and line, basically how hard the air is pushed. CFM is how much air the compressor can deliver, which matters for tools that need constant flow. Those numbers tell me this is a strong fit for quick bursts and short-duty tasks over all day, high-flow use. Translating that into real work, I've used it for car and bike tires, a brad nailer and a framing nailer in short bursts, a blow gun for cleanup and light spray jobs. It keeps up fine for those. I wouldn't use it for a die grinder, a big impact wrench on stubborn bolts, or continuous paint on a whole car. Tools like that need higher, steady CFM for long stretches, and this compressor will cycle often and lag behind. It's perfect for DIY projects, trim work, weekend jobs, and general garage use. Tank fill and recovery are quick. From empty, my tank reached 120 psi in under 3 minutes. When it cycles from around 90 psi back up to 120 psi, I'm seeing roughly a minute. That pace means I'm rarely waiting around. The regulator knob feels precise. The quick connect coupler locks up cleanly with no hiss, and the gauges are clear. I also like the quarter turn drain at the bottom. Draining moisture is part of long-term care for any compressor because water inside a steel tank can cause rust. A valve that opens and shuts fast makes me actually do it every session, and that matters. The oil-free pump is a big reason I picked this. I don't have to check or change oil, and I get cleaner air out to my tools. For small painting or airbrush tasks where oil mist would be a problem, this matters. Oil-free units also tend to start more easily in cold weather and don't care if I roll them around or park them on slightly uneven floors. From my experience, low maintenance is what keeps a tool in rotation. If I have to fuss with it, I use it less. This one has been low effort. Not everything was perfect. When I unboxed mine, one gauge was missing the little plastic lens and a sticker was scuffed. That was clearly a shipping knock. It didn't affect function, and a replacement gauge is cheap and easy, but it's still annoying to see blemishes on something new. I swapped the gauge myself rather than sending the whole compressor back. Also, the wheel install page could be clearer. Not a big deal, just a small note for anyone who hates vague diagrams. Once set up, it's been solid and leak-free. Key features that stood out to me are the quiet motor, the oil-free design, the compact 8-gallon tank that fits real-world tasks without eating space, and the overall build quality with copper and braided lines. The user experience is straightforward, which is helpful if this is a first compressor. If you're new, here's how I think about the basics when I use it. I set my regulator to match the tool's recommended size so I'm not overdriving anything. I keep an eye on CFM requirements on tool charts because that tells me if the compressor can keep up. I drain the tank at the end so moisture doesn't sit inside. That's really the routine. On noise again, because it matters so much to me, I can work at night without people in my house noticing. I can listen to a video or a podcast without turning the volume way up. The soft start and lower pitch make it feel less stressful to be around. I also notice it doesn't shuffle itself across the floor. It stays planted and doesn't rattle the workbench. In my opinion, the 8010 hits a sweet spot for homeowners and DIY projects. It's not a giant shop compressor, and it doesn't pretend to be. It's perfect for tires, nailers, blow-offs, and light spraying. From my experience, if I push into heavier air tools, the compressor cycles more and I end up waiting. So I keep those tasks short or use electric alternatives. For everything else, this thing is easy to live with and easy to move around. I'd recommend this for anyone who wants a quieter garage, minimal maintenance, and enough power for day-to-day jobs without wrestling a huge tank. The portability is real, not just a spec. The sound is low enough that I find myself doing quick tasks I used to put off because I didn't want to fire up a loud unit. And I appreciate that the parts you touch feel sturdy, from the handle to the coupler to the valve. In conclusion, this is the compressor I actually reach for because it disappears into the background while I work. It's quiet, it's simple, and it does what I need. The cosmetic shipping quirk was a bummer, but functionally it's been excellent. If you value peace and quiet and want clean, oil-free air without babysitting your equipment, this checks those boxes for me. I will leave detailed information about the California Air Tools 8010 in the comments for your reference. Thank you for watching.